We appreciate our next guest and all the work that she and her organization does. Kayla Jakel, she's the program coordinator for the Alzheimer's Association Michigan chapter. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I've had family members that have suffered from this disease, and it is very trying and very difficult for those individuals. But I was also on the website reading some of the statistics, and it's sobering. More than 5 million Americans currently are living with Alzheimer's, and that number is expected to grow so much more so in the next so many years. How do you even tackle this issue on a large scale?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a lot with our programs and services and trying to reach as many individuals that we can. And really, too, working with doctors to make sure that they're knowledgeable on the disease and how that they can help their patients and get those diagnoses earlier, so that way people can plan ahead and get the resources that they need.
So, when we're talking about the disease, what is the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia?
Yeah, so dementia is actually an umbrella term, and Alzheimer's falls under that umbrella. So there are quite a few different types of dementias, with Alzheimer's being the most prevalent of those.
Uh, During the pandemic, do you anticipate that these numbers are going to increase because people aren't getting the help that they need, especially early on?
Yeah, what we've seen too, a lot of people, as we know, aren't going to their doctor appointments now. So that kind of, if people are worried about that, if they're not going to the doctor, they're not getting those diagnoses as early on, like you said, as well as, we've noticed that the social isolation has really been harmful on people who do have the disease, as well as their caregivers.
So, with that, what are some of the early signs that someone should be looking for? Because I would think it's mostly their loved ones that start to notice the signs before the individual themselves, or at least admittedly notice the signs.
Yeah, so, memory loss, forgetting where things are and not remembering later on, a normal sign is, being able to remember. You may forget, but later on you can remember. Any changes in behaviors or attitude, things like that. On our website, we do actually have the 10 warning signs, and we do have an education program focused on the 10 warning signs that people should look for, and kind of be aware of.
I'm listening to you say some of those things, but aren't some of them just natural with age? Because I don't know how many times I go into Target and forget what I went into Target for, but I come out with a lot of other things.
Right. Well, we think of it as a normal sign of aging, but it's actually not. So, normally it's not something, later on you remember what you went into Target for. You're walking around and it kind of pops in your head, or you leave the store after and you're like, that's what I forgot to get. And people with Alzheimer's or their dementias, they can't quite eventually remember those things. So kind of that more long term of forgetting of, those things, not being able to recall.
One of the most heartbreaking stories I ever covered. A couple married more than 50 years, and he left for just a few minutes, and the wife and she suffered from Alzheimer's, and he left, and while he was gone, she left the house, and they later found her dead, but it was months long search for her and his dedication to his wife. And it was just a beautiful love story in itself with such a tragic ending. And so many of these stories in that way. Is there medication or even programs to try to help stimulate the brain to delay the more serious symptoms of this disease?
So unfortunately, right now, Alzheimer's does not have it's one of the top 10 deaths and it's the only one that does not have a cure or anything to slow it down as of right now. So unfortunately, medication, isn't quite an option for that. So really what we promote is continuing to keep active, doing brain information, crossword puzzles, word searches, staying socially active, having a healthy diet, all of those kind of things is really the best that people can do, even when they have that diagnosis. So before and after that diagnosis.
So I know that you guys do have some social engagement programs. Quickly, what are some of those?
Yeah, so we do offer social engagement programs virtually with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, the Henry Ford, the Detroit Zoo, the Detroit Historical Museum, and many others. And these are just an hour programs once a month, and it just allows participants to kind of join in with other people living with the disease and kind of take that time to talk to each other, as well as enjoy some music or learn some history, and people have really been enjoying that.
That is great that you guys offer this as well. And with that though, how important are support groups during this time, and do you guys offer them? I would think so.
We do offer support groups. We have many different kinds all throughout the week, different times, different days, to hopefully get as many people, with different schedules to be able to join a group, because they are so important for people to be able to talk about what's going on, and it's kind of a socialization aspect for them too. Especially, they need that break from caregiving. So being able to learn new techniques from other caregivers who have gone through similar situations, things like that. As well as we actually have a person with dementia early stage support group as well. So support group for those living with the disease.
And we do want to let people know that caregiving can be extremely overwhelming and extremely stressful. Reach out to other people, ask for help, and reach out to other people going through what you're going through as well, because it's so vitally important. Real quickly, Kayla, where can people find information about your organization if they need help as well?
Yeah, so they can either go to our website, alz.org/GMC for Greater Michigan chapter, or they can call our 24/7 helpline at 1-800-272-3900.
That's so great to know. And quickly, just about 15 seconds left. Any upcoming, fundraising efforts?
Yep, we have this year our Longest Day fundraising that'll take place in June on the longest day, and our Walk to End Alzheimer's. You can find more information about both of those on our website or by calling as well.
Is it going to be virtual?
As of right now, they are virtual, yes.
Okay, well, we hope though, by that time we'll be on the backside of this, but it doesn't look like we're going to. So, but
Yeah.
Kayla, we so appreciate your time. Again, Alzheimer's Association, the Michigan chapter, please ask for help, reach out, know the signs if you do need help.